So if I woke up and I didn't have breakfast that day, I would be really hungry, and I would probably go to Chick-fil-A and get a number one and then eat all of it. All the fries, the whole sandwich with the bread and everything.
So then you would get to what level on a scale of 1 to 5? What would you say after you ate that entire thing? What level would you probably be at?
Satisfied.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would you have like for dinner that night?
That would be my only meal the whole day, like the big meal, and then other than that, I would have fruit, apples and peanut butter, cucumbers, and like a vinaigrette or something.
So talk a little bit more about like, if you had to say like, you know, how many times a week you eat, like one meal a day, two meals a day, sometimes you have 3 meals a day. Talk about that.
I probably 4 to 5 days out of the week have 2 meals a day. And then the other is just probably 1 meal a day. And then the rest is just snacking in between if I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. And that's usually what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. And so like, as far as like, if you had to guess of like, you know, if 70% of your time well, first of all, in your opinion, if you said, I'm eating clean, what does eating clean look like for you? What would that definition be for you?
Eating clean would be not having dairy, very little carbs, no bread, eating a majority of like green veggies, like dark green especially, and then fruit as sugar, kind of just like that. I eat meat sometimes, but not red meat, just chicken or fish, things like that.
So would you say the majority of your diet, when you're in your mind, when you're thinking clean, it's lean meats, fruits and vegetables?
Yeah.
So then just repeat that.
Which part?
Just say that. So like in my mind, when I'm thinking clean, I'm thinking fruits, vegetables, and...
Okay. So in my mind, when I think of eating clean, I think of fruits, vegetables, and meats.
Okay. And so do you ever feel deprived? Like, do you ever feel like how do you decide, okay, today I'm having Chick-fil-A, but I'm obviously not having Chick-fil-A every day. So how do you decide? So like, if you had to say, I eat 70% of the time clean, 30% of the time, 80%, 20%, and like give some examples on days. So like you would say like, you understand what I'm saying?
Say the beginning part again.
So if you had to describe like 70% of the time you eat clean, 30% of the time you eat whatever you want, 80%, what would that ratio be for you?
Okay, probably I'd say 80 to 85% clean, and I usually have like 2 days out of the week where I'll let myself have what I want as a treat. Mm-hmm. Usually a treat is like cheese, mm-hmm. or candy or a soda or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay, perfect. And so can you describe what you ate from beginning to end yesterday? And then describe whether you would consider that clean or not clean.
I ate a bunch of stuff at your house. What would that be? I had she kept feeding me yesterday. Goodness gracious.
Everyone literally on my tombstone is going to say, she always tried to feed me.
I don't know. What did we ate that little cucumber things. 5 mochis. God. And then pizza. So yesterday was a good day. Yeah.
So just describe. So I would just say for breakfast I had nothing. This was my day. I had, and then at around this time I started getting hungry.
Okay. God, I'm trying to remember.
I mean, it just doesn't have to be exact.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yesterday I woke up and did not have breakfast, and then I had some fruit, some small snacks, probably like brunch time. And then after that, I kind of ate. Sorry. I just can't. I ate pizza yesterday and mochi, which is a dessert, and
How many mochis?
5. I had 5 mochis yesterday, green tea mochis, and then I had little cucumber toasties, and I probably had like 5 of those. And then when I got home, I probably just snacked. I think I had an apple and tea, like hot tea.
So then just say, so yesterday I kind of had one meal.
Okay.
And then I had fruit. I had one big meal that had more, it was more of the 20%.
Yeah.
So I had that one big meal that was more in the 20% line. And so when I got home, I had an apple with whatever you had.
Okay. What am I saying at the beginning part? Sorry, the beginning part.
So you would say, so yesterday I had no breakfast. Then for lunch,
Oh, and then I had one big
more-
meal.
I had more of one big meal that landed in the 20%.
Okay.
So then when I went home, whatever you had for dinner, or like a piece of
I had an
fruit or
apple.
peanut butter.
Yeah. So yesterday I ate no breakfast, and then I had a really big lunch, but it was probably in my 20% bad day. And then I got home and I had an apple for dinner, and that's really it. So just one meal during lunch, one big meal, and it was more junky.
Okay. What have you eaten so far today?
I've not had anything to eat. Yeah, I've had nothing to eat today
Okay.
so far.
Okay. And what are you thinking about eating? So just say right now it's 10 o'clock. Are you hungry right now?
I'm pretty comfortable right now. Like, I'm not starved or anything.
So I would just say, like, you know, most days I'm not. So yesterday you had lunch and you had, so I would just say yesterday I had lunch, I had an apple for dinner, but because I had more in that 20%, it's 10 o'clock this morning and I'm still not hungry because I had quite a big lunch yesterday. So that still has carried me all the way through.
Okay. So because yesterday I had such a big meal, I am not hungry today so far, and it's 10 o'clock, and I'm still going strong, and I don't need another meal right now.
Perfect. So then I would just say, like, if you had to describe how you normally eat, though, would you say sometimes it's one big meal at lunch and then nothing for dinner, and then the next day it might be something small for lunch and then a big dinner? So just kind of say, you know, it just varies on my hunger level and what's going on for that day.
Yeah, it does. I'm trying to think of what we were saying. Sorry. It might be starting to hit me now that I have not had food. I've only had coffee today, so I'm like...
So it just describe, like, you know, the size meals. So, like, you know,
like portion? Like portion size?
No, I would just say, like, you know, as far as, like, how you decide what you're going to eat. Like, just say there's no rhyme or reason. Like, sometimes I might have just lunch that day. The next day I might have a small lunch and then a big dinner.
Okay.
But it just depends on my hunger.
Okay. So, yeah, I usually don't have, like, a set schedule of how big each meal is going to be. It's usually based on circumstance or how I'm feeling that day, or if I'm just hungry or not. It's kind of just like sometimes I'll have a really big lunch and then that small dinner, and sometimes the other way around. So it just varies. There's no set in stone plan.
So do you ever eat because you feel like you should eat that? Like, for example, let's say it was like a protein shake. Like, you'd be like, I'm going to have a protein shake today. Or you like, no, I eat for health, but Like describe that. Like how do you decide, like do you just go, what is my body really craving right now? Like you just go, okay, like what am I really in the mood for? And then just try to think of the whatever you have, or kind of talk about that.
So, like when I'm wanting food, is that what you're just saying? When I'm wanting food, do I like crave something, or is it just like most of the time when I'm eating, or I like use what I have, and like I don't think about my food. You know what I mean? Like my food is very much fuel for me, and that's why I try to put the good stuff in my body, and that's like from day to day. Like I don't think, oh, I'm craving this. I mean, obviously I crave bad things, but usually it's just like I work with what I have, or if I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to get something that's going to actually benefit me.
But would you say, but it's still something that you kind of want, right?
Like some junk?
No, but like as far as like would it be like, okay, I'm craving avocado today, or I'm
Okay.
craving a salad today, or I'm craving chicken today? How do you kind of decide what you're gonna eat?
It's really hard because I don't like I really every day is so different, and it's like fuel for me. Like next step is, oh, I'm starting to feel hungry, I need some food.
Do you ever feel like you use food to, like, let's say you're really stressed, do you ever feel like I use food when I'm stressed, or do you feel like it's the opposite, like you feel like when I'm stressed I don't eat?
Yeah, when I'm stressed, I definitely do not eat, and it usually causes me to eat not the whole day. Like I won't eat for the entire day, usually when I'm stressed. So I'm not like a comfort eater or anything.
And so let me see if there's any other questions. How often would you say, if you had to estimate how often you overeat, is there any time where you'd say, you know what, I miscalculated this, I actually overate a little bit, or I got to like a 4.2 on that hunger scale, or 4.3, like if 5 is stuffed, where would you be on that hunger scale? Or would you say, you know, I really don't like being full, so I don't get to that point? What would you say? Repeat that, what I said before.
What percentage?
Just say like I overeat a lot, or I don't overeat.
Yeah.
I really.
Yeah, I definitely do not overeat very often, and I do not like the feeling of being full. I don't like being stuffed or uncomfortable, but probably like twice a month I do that. Like where I like, especially like at a Mexican restaurant, something where I'll be like, ew, like I feel gross and uncomfortable. So.
And if you had to estimate twice a month you might eat a little bit more than you intended to.
Yeah.
If you had to estimate, 5 would be Thanksgiving Day full, like you had to unbutton your pants. Would it be like a 4.2, 4.3, 4.4? What would that, or would it just be at a, you know, what would that number be?
Probably like a 4.4.
So just repeat back what I said.
Oh.
So on those days that, probably 2 times a month I might overeat, and I probably get to about a 4.4.
Okay. So there's probably 2 times a month where I'll overeat, and it's usually about a 4.4 in level of fullness, stuffed.
So what caused you on those 2 times a month to actually eat more than you wanted to? Like, what was the reason why you did it? Did you not intentional, it just kind of happened? You ate faster than normal? What would you say?
I ate, when I eat like that, it's usually not like a plan. Like, and I just went blank, I'm sorry.
So on those couple of times that you, let's say you went to a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Say that, you know, on those couple times that I overate in a Mexican restaurant, the reason that I overate was what?
Okay. The couple times that I did overeat, there was no reason. It's usually just, if I'm in a social gathering, it's like just natural to just keep eating. If there's chips in front of me, chips and salsa, then I'll just keep going. But it doesn't happen very often.
So what kind of things do you say to yourself mentally to keep yourself thin? Is there any kind of like self things that you say to yourself to kind of like when you're making decisions of like, do I want to have a pizza or do I want to have a salad right now?
Okay. Well, for me, it's more of a balance thing, because it's like a 85% diet for me, and then the other percentage is working out, going to the gym. And if I've worked really hard, I will treat myself to something that I really want. And so, yeah.
Okay. How important would you say it is to you for you to be thin?
It's very important for me to be thin because this part is different because my family is like, can I say something like that?
Yeah.
Because my family is all really like not healthy, and that's like what has motivated me, and they all have like a lot of like health problems, and so that's why, really. And it's like a stereotype if you have a child. Like when I was pregnant, everyone was like, oh, well, get ready for your body to change and things like that, and it really like motivated me. So it's like that. Oh, sorry. She told me there's a sign. Where's that for? Sorry.
You're gonna put that in the front of the neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Talk about like if you were gonna describe how you ate. Like, do you feel like if you had to really describe it, like, would you say you like put a food in your mouth and you'd be like eating, just like slowly? Would you say no? I kind of eat pretty fast, but I just take a few bites and know I'm gonna be full later. How does that work?
Okay. I eat very quickly. I don't take time to savor the flavors. I really just portion what I want. Like, I won't just like get a bunch and just keep going. Like, I'll portion what I want, eat it quickly, and then I'm good.
Know you're going to be full later.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you eat really fast, then your body doesn't know that but you already kind of in your head know.
I know what portions I need.
You know what portions you need to fill yourself up.
Yeah.
Okay. So say that. Say, I portion out
the
amount that I know.
Yeah. I portion out all the food that I'll be eating in front of me. So when I make a plate, I know exactly what portion I need to be full, and I usually eat very quickly. So it doesn't matter, really.
Okay. Name some of your foods that are in your 20%. Like if you said, these foods are like my favorite. Like I don't have them that often, but and then describe how often you have. Like you'd say, I love this, and I probably have it like once or twice a week because I really love it, whatever it is.
Okay. I usually eat like in my 20% of like junk food. I usually eat like a candy and like soda. I love both of them. Mm-hmm. Like a Coke, I'll have a Coke or like a bag of Starburst or something in that nature. And that's like my or like maybe salt and vinegar chips if I want salt. That's usually like my.
And so if you were gonna eat salt and vinegar chips, how many chips would you eat?
If I was to eat, probably like a cup. Like if I was to like scoop a cup of chips, that's probably what I would eat. That's what I try to portion, especially in regards to like junk. Like I usually try to limit it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So if you're stressed, since you don't eat, what are some things that you do when you're stressed?
When I'm stressed, since I don't eat, it's not for me. I usually go to the gym, or I paint, things like that.
Can you think of anything else that you do?
For stress? Okay. For being real, it probably shopping. I like shop.
Okay.
Shopping, the gym, being with my best friends, things like that.
Okay, perfect. And then on a day that you're eating like super clean, kind of describe what that day looks like.
Okay. On a really good day, right, I'm eating super clean. It's usually I'll wake up and I'll have like, it's basically just eggs, spinach salads with tons of greens and like cucumbers, a very full salad. And then maybe at dinner I'll have like grilled chicken and like asparagus or something like that. Like where it's overall just vegetables, and then the snacks probably would be fruit. But overall it'd be just like vegetables, and then usually like if I do eat breakfast, it's going to be some form of protein, nuts, something like that. And then at dinner,
More protein.
another protein, yeah. I usually don't eat it in lunch.
So who taught you how to eat? Like, would you say like I kind of watched, or how do you, like, did you have any role models?
I just learned how to eat this way by reading, just studying myself, because it's not really, I didn't grow up that way fully. For the most part, it's all been on my own time and knowledge of like, I don't really have like a person I follow or in regards to diet.